Okay, so we have our database set up. Now we're going to set up our file systems to allow us to have a login. And we're going to have 4 different files. The first file is called index.html, and it's just going to have a login form that's going to ask for a username and password. Once we enter that username and password and hit the submit button, that information will then be sent to the login.php page, which is a totally different page. That's what we call a post. So we're going to take the data that we get from the index.html and we're going to post it to the login.php page. When the login.php page gets that information, the username and password, it's going to evaluate it, going to this MySQL database and checking it. And if the username and password are good, it's going to go to a secret page in which you can only see if you got the username and password right. But if you got it wrong, then you're going to go to the fail page and it's going to say, sorry, you failed, and that will have a link back to the index page so the person can try to log in once again. So that's what we're going to do, and we'll start with the index.html page. So here I'm going to create a new page, index.html, and we just want some boilerplate HTML here, which I'll go ahead and pause and put here. Okay, so here I've got some HTML tags. At the top there's a head tag, or opening and closing head tag. And I've got my body tags here. This is where all the action is going to happen. Then my closing HTML tag. I'm going to go ahead and now save this. I'm going to go File, Save As. I'm going to go to my C drive, XAMPP folder, htdocs, and if you're using Mac you want to look for your htdocs folder, and I'm going to save it as index.html. So now I've got an index.html. I'm going to just test it. I'm going to write login here and save it. Now I'm going to go to my browser, open up a new tab, and then go to my local host and see if it says login, and it doesn't. It says hello world. So what's happening is that I've got an index.php that's overriding my index.html. So I'm going to go ahead and have to go in there and delete that. So I'm going into my C drive, XAMPP folder. I'm looking for the htdocs. I can see I've got an index.html and an index.php. I'm just going to delete this index.php. That leaves me with only one index page, index.html. And now if I refresh my page, it says login here. So I know that the code that I'm working on in my so now I know my index.html page is actually showing up on the page. Okay, so what we want to add within this body here is some form tags. And by the way, I think I will put an h1 tag here, login here, be a big heading. And then we want to collect some data from the user, so we're going to use the form tags. And the form tags just look like this: opening form, closing form, and we're going to have a bunch of inputs in between these. Now we also want to specify where the form is going to post the data, and so in order to do this we've got to have something called a method equals. Our method is going to equal post, and our action, where we're going to post to, is going to be equal to login.php. That's a page that we haven't made yet, but we'll make it here in a little bit, and that's where we're going to send this data to. Okay, so now we got our form tags. It's going to use the post, and it's going to send that post to login.php. Now we're going to have 3 inputs. One of the inputs is of type text, and this is going to be our username. So right on top of this, I might just write username, and then at the end of this input label I'll put a break tag, just BR. And then I want to have a password tag, so I'm going to write password, then I'll have an input, and this type is going to be password. because it is going to be hidden from the person that's typing it in. I'll have a BR tag. And just to test it out, I'm going to save it, go to my web browser and refresh it. In here I can see login here, username, password. So it's looking good now. All we want to do is we want to put a submit button. So to put a submit button, we're just going to go down here and put one more tag, input. The type is going to be equal to submit. And then we can specify what we want written on the button by having it or giving it a value. And I'm going to have the value be login. Okay, so now I've got the username, the password, and the submit button. I'll go ahead and refresh my page, and there it is. Now if I type something in here, username and password, see the password's hidden, I hit login. It tries to go to login.php, but it says not found. I'll go ahead and go back. So now we've got to create that login.php page, and we'll do that in the next video.